もうやだ。お前何やってんだよ。お前やめろよ。なんでやってんのお前。結局、
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Thursday, April 22nd. I'm J.E. Skeets. Along with me, my top shot hot boy, Trae Kirby. Hey, yo. We've got the international man of mystery taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lee. And last but not least, making the magic happen here is JD.
Hello.
There he is, and here we are. Shout out to the stream team for joining us live right now on YouTube. Please smash that like button, leave your comments, and subscribe. We are trying to reach 40,000 subs by, tomorrow.
Gotta hit the gas here.
Yeah. I'm not happy right now with what's going on in the subs. Let's be honest. A little too slow for my liking, but thank you to everybody that has already. We're not hitting 40K now. But still, share the show with your friends and let's get that up. Guys, email us your questions and comments for this week's, or I guess next week's, Beach Stepping podcast, nodunks@theathletic.com. We did hit the beach yesterday. Things very quickly went off the rails. It was an insane Beach Stepping podcast, and that is saying something. Though, amidst the giggles and the dogs and stuff like that, we discussed some weird NBA award winners, Lee pointing out Bobby Simmons winning Most Improved back in the Clippers days. We talked about whether or not LeBron James can break Robert Parrish's, the Chiefs record for all-time career games played. We talked about things that we've maybe embraced or at least ditched that might upset our homeland. A lot of spelling talk in yesterday's show. We got into who the hell Patrick Marleau is and all that, and I upset a bunch of people on Twitter about that. Anyway, go check it out. Fun Beach Stepping podcast, an insane one. Finally here, go grab your merch at nodunks.com. Okay, busy day for the No Dunks crew. Tess is What You Need to Know mini recap pod. That's already up, so make sure you go and listen to that or watch that on YouTube. Later today, TK and I are going to host another NBA Top Shot pack drop. You can join us at 5 p.m. Eastern for that live stream over at NBATopShot.com as we all try and score some MGLE premium packs. So swing by, say hi, and hang out with the Top Shot Hot Boys, TK and I. That's at 5 p.m. And then later, basically, we're going to go from that live stream right into this one. It's the NBA Happy Hour watch party. So we'll jump on the YouTubes here to host another NBA Happy Hour, another hang. We'll fire that up around halftime of the Sixers-Bucks game on TNT. And, maybe we'll play another round of GeoGuessr, Lily. You want to do that again?
Yeah.
You were so good at that.
I think we just hop straight into Carmen Sandiego. I'd love to play that. I've got the console here, so although I guess we need to play it on the screen, don't we?
Yeah.
There's got to be a sim somewhere out there.
Yeah, there is. I've got it saved here. I'll show you. Well, I won't show you now, but I've got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't need you showing me Carmen Sandiego on your computer. You couldn't figure out how to work your headphones about 10 minutes before firing up this live stream.
Yeah, but we got there in the end, didn't we?
We sure did. We had to do nothing.
Well, I did the old turn the computer off, turn it on, and just hope for the best. And you know what? Worked every time.
Hey. Always works.
Undefeated, for sure. All right, so lots to get to here. 12 games on last night. We won't get to everything. Again, highly recommend you check out Tass's What You Need to Know, where he at least touches briefly on every single game. But let's start with a little What You Got.
What you got?
Hey, what you got there? Let's start with some big games, some big wins. For the second time this week, the Suns knocked off one of the top teams in the East, guys. Chris Paul, 28 points. Devin Booker, 19 to lead Phoenix to the 116-113 victory over Philly on Wednesday. Embiid's 85-foot heave at the buzzer nearly dropped, and we'll get into that in a second. And then later in the night, MVP to be Nikola Jokic scored 25 points. He made 3 key free throws down the stretch to give the Nuggets a 106-105 victory over the reeling Blazers. So we'll start with this one, guys. The more impressive victory, Suns or the Nuggets? What you got, Trae?
Nice win by the Nuggets. The usual short-handed Sixers stuff applies here. No Ben Simmons, no Tobias Harris, but I'm still going with the Phoenix Suns, who went on the road and beat a potential finals team. That's impressive. Even more impressive, kind of starting to become commonplace at this point with the Suns. They just beat the Bucks in overtime on Monday, gutted another one out again last night, because just like that Bucks game, it wasn't a lights-out Devin Booker game. I mean, he was great in the fourth quarter, scored 8 straight to really ice things, but I thought it was Chris Paul and Mikal Bridges who picked up the slack. Chris Paul, he's still good. Can't deny it. 28 and 8 for Chris Paul, 10 of 17 shooting, a cool 10 points and 5 assists in the fourth quarter, the usual perfect conductor stuff. But I really love that Mikal Bridges revenge game. Drafted by the Sixers, played high school ball in Philadelphia, played college ball in Philadelphia. The Sixers drafted him, traded him to the Suns on draft night. 18 for Bridges last night. Made a couple of threes. Another banger win for the Suns. They're only a game and a half back from Utah right now for the number 1 overall seed. Jazz are going to be tough to catch. They've been great all year, but these two teams play a week from Friday. That is going to be a huge game. We're going to be talking about that team. Whoever wins that game for sure on Monday as a winner of the weekend. Great stuff again from the Suns last night. I mean, you're hearing a lot of dark horse title contender buzz now for the Suns with the way they've been able to pull these wins over Eastern Conference contenders out of the hat and, playing these close games on the road, pulling out the wins. They've been road warriors all year long. Another awesome one for Phoenix last night.
Lele, do you agree with TK? More impressive victory. Is it the Suns beating the Sixers there, holding on and having that Embiid 85-foot heave bounce in and out? Or is it the Nuggets, continuing to win without Jamal Murray? That's the important part here, I think, of this question.
Definitely impressive. But as sort of Trae mentioned off the top there, the Blazers just seem to be struggling badly. Now, Norm Powell, that shot drops in and the Blazers win that game at the end there. It was very, very close. But I am also going with Phoenix because I just want to – I'm still, I guess, Suns fans are letting me know that I maybe aren't super convinced yet that they can do this in the playoffs because it's just a different game in the playoffs. But getting quality wins over quality opponents who were shorthanded, let's be fair, but still, you've got to win those games, and they did, and they hung on there. And I mean, if a game's close in the fourth quarter, I know Devin Booker was great, but if Chris Paul's got the ball in his hands, there's so much confidence in him getting his team over the line because he just knows how to finish games. That's exactly what he did in OKC last season as well. The teams, when it comes close, clutch points, clutch minutes, if Chris Paul's got the ball in his hands, he's going to make the right decision, whether it's going to be finding a guy, whether it's going to go into that little mid-range where he just loves to fire that shot in. It's great. And, we mentioned the other day, Zach Lowe had 55 contenders for most improved. I wonder if you could tell me where Mikal Bridges fell in that gap.
Oh, yeah.
Skeetsy, because he won't win it. His numbers certainly just aren't as impressive as someone like a Julius Randle. But in terms of the way that he has played for them, shooting that 3-ball this season, shooting the ball incredibly well, over 50%, and playing great defense, he has been a very important contributor to that Phoenix Suns team. When Chris Paul finds him in the corner, he hits him with confidence. Javon Carter hit a couple of big ones too last night. But right now, the Phoenix Suns getting these wins, as you mentioned, against Milwaukee the other night in overtime, now against Philadelphia in a close game. Those are the sorts of things that they have that playoff-like atmosphere. And when you got a closer like Chris Paul, it does make it more convincing that this team is legit. But, yeah, very, very fun game too. Good game.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid, I thought, was incredible again. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, man, that shot drops at the end there. How he was able to do, I think it was 0.8 seconds on the clock, to sort of heave it that far in that way and get it off in time was incredible.
Yeah, it's an insane attempt here. The beat. This is the Booker first off, like clutch shot,
nice
just
shot.
Unbelievable. That's huge. I mean, you say Chris Paul's the closer, but they got two of them. They really do. They have Booker as well. That was huge. But yeah, let's see the Embiid one if you've got that, JD, because that one was hilarious. Off the rebound, where he then, in sort of just one motion, like you said, Lee, chucks it one hand baseball style.
Wow.
And that is in and then out.
Yeah.
So it brings me to a fun question that for everybody in the stream team, for everybody listening and watching later, off of that Embiid miss, what are some of your other favorite, like, what if that thing falls type of shots in NBA history? I assume a lot of them will be sort of maybe from the playoffs because those are more sort of memorable games. And it's like, wow, that's a real big what if. If that thing falls, maybe this team goes on to win the championship, whatever. But Lee, you first. Do you have a favorite what if that thing falls down shot?
I think it's Game 7 of the 2016 finals. It's the LeBron dunk where he gets fouled by Draymond Green. I mean, if he throws that down, that's just maybe the biggest dunk in NBA history because it was just huge down the lane there. He hit one of those free throws, of course, that basically sealed the game. But that's kind of where I went. I just thought about some of those missed dunks. Russell Westbrook had one in the playoffs against the Lakers back in the day where he jumped from almost the free throw line and tried to dunk on, I think it was Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum, I think it was. He tried to dunk all over those guys. So, there's been some incredible ones. I mean, there's been a lot of shots that have gone in after the buzzer, but I think the dunk is still the one. If a couple of those are dropped, I think we'd still be talking about them today. I mean, we're talking about them and he missed, or they were fouled on them. So, that just shows how impressive they were.
Well, yeah, I mean, even sticking with that Game 7 16 finals, what about Curry's three to tie the game too, where Kevin Love sort of like locks him up?
Yeah,
I rewatched that one this morning. And I remember thinking it at the time and then rewatching it again. Curry, gets sort of locked up by Kevin Love. He does an incredible first job, like K-Love does, like of staying in front of him. Curry gives the ball up, right? He gives it to Draymond in this sort of half-ass pass. It's amazing. Draymond catches it and then he gets it back to Curry. And for a second, Curry, Trae, if you remember, Curry is at the logo. He's super deep. And he thinks about it. He pump fakes, but it sure looks like he's like, well, I'm going to shoot this. And I wish he did. I honestly wish he tried because then he, of course, drives again. Love again, scrambling to stay in front of him. Then Curry, sort of going to his right after a little crossover, chucks it up and it nearly goes because it's Curry. But that's a crazy what if. I wish he just pulled Lillard style from where he was when he got the ball back from Draymond. Maybe would have even had a cleaner look. He probably would have because it was at least an open look, even though it was deep. But what do you have, Trae? Do you have another what if shot?
The only thing that's even close to this is Gordon Hayward's miss in the NCAA title game. Yeah, Tim Duncan missing a putback and a bunny against the Heat in the 2013 finals. Yeah. That's a huge one, but the Spurs came back and win the championship the next year anyways. I do think that the Curry one is the biggest what if. If he makes that, Kevin Durant probably doesn't sign with the Golden State Warriors, and we're talking about a completely different 5 years from that moment on. But the Hayward miss, for the distance and the stakes of the game and how close he was to hitting it, super similar to Embiid. It's kind of like a mix of Embiid and that crazy Devin Harris shot that went in. But yeah, I mean, the stakes are the thing that makes it different. I'm loving this Joel Embiid thing. It's fun to have seen it in real time and to have experienced it with everybody. But are we going to remember a miss on April 21st, 5 years from now? Maybe another crazy miss like this will happen. And we'll have to go into the archives and say, man, what was the craziest miss in regular season NBA history? This one might be it. It very well might be.
Yeah. There are people in the stream team pointing out Patrick Ewing's sort of missed finger roll. There's the Vince Carter, of course, that whole thing in his Raptors series versus the Sixers. That was the whole graduation day, Game 7, where he gets an attempt to to win that series and comes up short. So, yeah, it's got to be it usually has to be, you're right, Trae. We're not going to really remember this. It was just crazy to see. I mean, the thing nearly goes in. It would have been pretty amazing if he had knocked it down, and it was damn close. Wow. What if one of you guys made a half-court shot? You don't know. Wow, shots fired, man. Hey, there are a couple real close ones. If you go back and watch the tape of the 40 attempts we took over, or whatever 5 years we were there, a couple of them nearly went in. Some of them not so close. But okay, let's hear from you guys out there with that one. The more impressive victory from last night, Suns or Nuggets. You said Norman Powell, having a good look there, Lee, just before we move on. I mean, that's the second time here for Norman Powell in the last couple of games where he had that three the other night we talked about, wide open, rattles in and out. And then, he had a chance there with the little floater and it doesn't drop. And then the Nuggets escape. They're still winning these games without Jamal Murray, which is pretty amazing. All right. Our next one, we're going streaking here, guys. Julius Randle, 40 points, 10 boards to lead New York to the overtime victory over the Hawks on Wednesday. It was the Knicks' NBA best 8th straight win. Oh my God, break up them Knicks. The Zombie Raptors, they seized control of the third quarter in their 114-103 victory over the Nets, extending their winning streak to 4 games when everybody thought they were going to be tanking and that they were dead and buried after the Bulls beat them a couple weeks ago. And then finally, Steph Curry went cold for the first time all month. That helped Washington rally from 11 points down in the fourth to beat the Dubs by 4. The Cinderella Wizards, they've won 6 straight and are actually into the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference. So it was a lot of information, but the question is, what is the most shocking win streak? Is it the Wizards Is it the Raptors or is it the Knicks with the NBA best 8 straight? And we'll start with you, Lily. What do you got?
Well, of all the crazy things to happen this season, I didn't think at one point I'd be saying the teams with the 2 longest active streaks are the Knicks and the Wizards. The Wizards somehow have beaten the Jazz and the Warriors twice this season. So that's incredible, but it's got to be the Knicks for me because they are actually going to be in the playoffs no matter what. 8 in a row, 3 of those have been in overtime. 5 have been by double digits as well. And Julius Randle, who didn't have a great game against the Hornets the night before, bounced back last night in very impressive fashion. Look at the efficiency of this line. 40 points, 11 for 21 shooting, 6 of 8 from 3, and 12 of 13 from the free throw line. And carried his team to victory. Now, Trae Young picked up an injury and missed most of the fourth quarter in overtime. But still, the Knicks, just have to keep on winning those games. And to get a 10-point victory in overtime is pretty good. And Emmanuel Quickley, one of his favorite players, or his favorite player growing up, was Lou Williams. And he's been pretty good this season anyway, Emmanuel Quickley. But these last 2 nights, he's played just like Lou Williams, coming out there shooting threes. He attempts 5 a game. He makes them at 38%. He's already made more threes in his career than 2-point shots, Emmanuel Quickley. And it's crazy because he's got that sort of flingy sort of shooting motion there. It's not the prettiest shot ever, but it goes in and it's effective and he's confident. So I think it has to be the Knicks again. This was a pretty good game. It was almost like it just felt sort of halfway through that third quarter that maybe this was just the Knicks were due for a bad game and we're going to lose this one. But they fought back. They led by 7 points. They went on a big run in the fourth quarter. Then the Hawks fought back without Trae Young. Bogdanovic hits that corner 3 to send the game to overtime, which was a very well executed play. I don't know if it was just bad defense from the Knicks. I think it was just well done from the Hawks to get Bogdanovic open, hits a 3. But then in overtime, Julius Randle took over and the Knicks won this one comfortably. So I'm going with New York because they've been great. Their defense is great. Their 3-point shooting is great. And honestly, these last 2 nights in Madison Square Garden, the games have been fun. So I'm going with the Knicks. Did
you see the crowd after this victory too, flooding out of MSG? I was like, man, I wish Lee Ellis was there screaming, that they got the 4th seed and they got the 8-game winning streak. It was a party, man. People are celebrating. Knicks fans are riding the high here with this 8-game win streak. And again, into home court advantage there right now.
Yes.
This is a big win against the Hawks, obviously, in terms of the seeding. These teams are like, step and step there. But Trae, you agree with Lily, the homer here, Knicks fan, as the most shocking win streak, or is it the Zards or the Raps, the Zombie Raps to you?
At this point, it's not surprising that the Knicks keep this win streak up. That last take that Julius Randle had where he straight up pancaked John Collins, a strong guy underneath the hoop. That was like a man versus a child right there. Wow, that was an impressive one. But I'm not surprised that Lee picked the Knicks, of course. But the most shocking win streak has got to be the Wizards. They're on a 6-gamer right now. Had a 5-game win streak earlier in the season. That's 11 of their 25 wins have come in over the course of like 2.5 weeks. Very odd. But the key, they're playing Russell Westbrook basketball here. Once you're going to see a big beef here, and you can tell that Scotty Brooks has said, we're going back to the Thunder days where we're playing small ball. There's not going to be a big guy out there to get in your way. Go get every single rebound, bring it up, and it's working because as soon as you turn your team over to playing Russell Westbrook ball, it unlocks Russell Westbrook. And when he's playing in the perfect situation, he's obviously still effective. The Wizards, man, I don't know. We're going to talk about the play-in tournament here. I will be fine cheering for the Raptors in the play-in tournament, but I will not be fine cheering for the Wizards in the play-in tournament. Let me say that. I can get on board with the Raptors. I can't get on board with the Wizards, but impressive stuff that they're able to be picking up these wins. They were one of the worst defensive teams in the league for the first half of the season. They're doing better on that side, at least. They're at least competing and somehow stacking up them W's.
Yeah, well, let's show you, the East standings here, this play-in race, because it's obviously a little convoluted. You got so many lines on these damn things now, but you see the Knicks there at 4th, followed by the Hawks and the Celtics. It feels like those top 6 teams are going to be, for the most part, the top 6 teams. The Heat are right there, of course, too, so maybe they get in there. But then you got the Hornets hanging on to 8th, and then the play-in tournament here, these teams trying to hold on to 9th and 10th. It's the Pacers right now. They got a big win. They stopped the bleeding last night. They were playing the Thunder, so that helps. And then the Wizards with an improbable comeback there. Again, Curry going cold. They get the victory. So they are in sole position right now at 10th, and then it's the Raps and the Bulls and the Cavs behind them. Lee, if you were a betting man, actually, you know what? Screw that. Who do you want in the play-in tournament? Like, what's your ideal 4 teams there, 7 through 10. Like, what do you think is just the most exciting to you?
Well, definitely the Heat and the Hornets. I'm happy to take those two. And then, I can't really pit against the Bulls or the Raptors. I can't pick one of you guys over the other. So I'm going to have to take the Wizards in there because at least I got Bradley Beal. I've got my homer in there.
Right.
So then it comes down to the Pacers, the Raptors, or the Bulls.
Look at this guy. He's going to put Sexland into the play-in tournament here, jumping from 13th to 10th just to spite us.
I think. Okay, this is where I'll go. Look, the Raptors won the championship a couple of years ago. Skeetsy, you've had your glory. It's been a while since we've seen the Bulls in the playoffs. Have some fun. Trae's been up and down this season. Let's throw the Bulls in there. Let's get the Bulls because I've heard they're back. And you haven't heard it from me. I told you as soon as they lost that game to the Warriors. Unfortunately, the Bulls did not come back from the All-Star break. Yeah, I will just choose the Bulls just because I would love to see Trae have a little bit of, I want to see Trae get excited in the playoffs and say and listen to Trae like sort of talk the Bulls. I think we can get out of this play-in tournament. I think if we get into that first round, we could cause some trouble as well. So
whoever wins the play-in tournament, guaranteed they're going to beat the 1 seed in game 1. They're going to have that rhythm. They're going to have that rhythm playing these high-stake games. Lock it in, and it's going to be the Bulls. I mean, I saw today they got a 5% chance on Basketball Reference of still making the play-in tournament. Zach LaVine will be back soon.
I don't know.
The bad thing that has happened with the Bulls is they turned into the Magic after the trade deadline. They are now a Nick Vucevic team, and you're seeing the results. An ugly one last night. Disgusting loss to the Cavs.
There's a great article up on The Athletic from a bunch of our, beat reporters there for all these Eastern Conference teams breaking down like who's going to make this East play-in tournament. It's like a back and forth, sort of like a roundtable thing and stuff like that. And Fred Katz on the Boulevard, he pointed out that the Wizards and Pacers have 2 of the 9 easiest remaining strength of schedule in the NBA, and the Raptors and Bulls have 2 of the 7 hardest. So, yeah, I mean, looking at that, just in terms of the teams that are going to be playing, maybe if you are a betting man, you're going to be putting some coin on the Pacers and the Wizards to get in there.
Au contraire, Skeets. Au contraire. Iron sharpens iron. You got to play the good teams to make it into the play-in tournament where everybody wants to be. It's looking like we might have another boneyard match. May 13, Bulls versus Raptors again. It's like the 3rd to last game of the season, I think, for both of these teams. This is going to be a massive game with implications for the 10th seed.
Or implications for better chances in the lottery.
Hey, look,
that's exactly right.
The Raptors beat the Nets last night. So maybe if the Raptors can somehow make it in, maybe they could upset the Nets in the first round. They swept them down.
100%. I believe that. You can convince me of that. Ideally, if I'm being honest, I do think of course, you're going to drop the homer, but I feel like when the Raptors are at full strength, they are a damn good team still. Yes. So it's like, hey, maybe you want a team in there that could challenge a team like a first seed or a second seed. And then the same goes for, oddly, the Wizards just having Beal and Westbrook playing at this level. I'm also like, I don't know, that's sort of exciting to see 2 stars on like an 8th seed team go up against, let's say, the Nets or the Sixers or something. I don't think they would get steamrolled by any means. Suddenly Bertans can't miss a shot after he had a baby. It sucks about Denny Avdia with his injury. He's out for the season. So that's a bummer. But they're Rui's playing pretty good defense and stuff. I think they'd be scrappy. I think they'd win a game or 2. So I think ideally I sort of want the Raps and Wizards just because I guess I believe when they're at full health that they're maybe the best of the bunch. Though, the Bulls are missing Zach LaVine, and that does suck. Let's just take a quick look at the West then. We won't take as long on this. But you've got the Mavericks right on the heels of the Blazers, who are in 6th seed. So Dallas 7th right now, though. Memphis 8th. Tough loss for them last night, giving up a big lead to the Clippers, who were very shorthanded. Clippers continue to roll. And then the Warriors 9th, Spurs 10th. And I don't know, Lily, it's starting to look like these are going to be the teams. Just we got to figure out the order of who's getting the home court advantage in the play-in tournament and stuff like that. Because the Pelicans and Kings and Thunder, they're pretty far back, right?
Yeah, I would if I could choose, I would take the Pelicans over the Spurs because I'd love to see Zion in the playoffs. And the Spurs, you know what you're going to get out of them. They're going to be a tough out. But just for the optics, it'd be great to see the Pelicans. But as we sort of said a lot this week, I mean, they've dropped 4 straight. They're 3.5 back already. There's just not enough time left here for them unless they go on a complete tear and the Spurs completely fall apart. Now, the Warriors losing last night it helps, but it's just that's a big 3.5 game difference, it feels to me, for them to make up. So I think it's just shuffling the deck really from 7 to 10. I guess the Blazers actually.
From 6 to 10.
That's the big race right there, is who's going to get the 6th seed.
Yeah.
Portland, we mentioned it earlier, they're struggling. 3 straight losses. 3 of their last 4 losses have been by 1 point. And I think the stat is that they are 0-9 against the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. So if they drop into the play-in tournament, I mean, they're playing one of the better teams regardless, but if they drop down there, that's not ideal. Though, Lillard in a couple of 1-game series, that would be fun to watch.
That'd be fun. Very fun. Same goes, of course, for Curry and any of these things. And just to remind people, because I heard even people that are like diehard NBA fans, they say, screw up like what goes on in this play-in tournament.
Yes.
People still don't really understand. Oh, Lee's raising his hands. Okay. I think a lot of people think it's 7 takes on 10 and 8 to 9. That's not what happens here. It's 7 plays 8. You win that game, you're the 7th seed. Meanwhile, 9th is playing 10th. You win that game, you still got to win another one, because the loser of the 7th, 8th game, well, they get one more crack at then being the 8th seed. They'd have to beat the winner of the 9th, 10th. That's what it is. It's not 7, 10, 8, 9, stuff like that. You of course have an advantage to be in the 7th or 8th seed. Like, you can lose a game and then win your second one, you're still into the playoffs. But that's how that works, if you care at all about the play-in tournament. And we obviously do, because we're talking about a lot of these teams that we wouldn't even be addressing at this point in the season. So I guess it's sort of working. All right. Final one here. We had 2 more big beef boys gobbling up that roast beef last night, TK. We had a smallie and a biggie, which was nice. So, JD, roll that beautiful beef footage.
Roastal Beefbrook had 20 rebounds. That's a lot of roast beef. He also had a triple-double. Who cares? We want the beef. Clint Capela had 22 rebounds. Welcome to the 5 Beef Club. No dunks. We love roast beef, which is rebounds.
Yeah, so there it is. I had the honor of throwing to that beautiful beef footage today, because I wanted to go to Trae first with the question here and what you got. What was the bigger beef, Westbrook or Capela, TK? What you got?
That's a tough call. This is a Lee Ellis. Tough one, man. I was looking forward to a Russell Westbrook beef for an entire season, pretty much. He's one of the few guards out there capable of throwing down a 20-board game, and honestly kind of disappointing when I saw the highlights from it. Westbrook, you think, is going to be a high flyer for these boards, but like we talked about earlier, they're clearing it out for him to grab it and just run. Every single rebound looked the same. Meanwhile, Capela puts in another slapper. Every one of this guy's beefs are so sloppy, but he's up to 5 on the season. I love the 5-for-5 deal, but my man's got a long way to go for the all-time beef lead. I looked this up. Dennis Rodman had 20 rebounds in a game 20 times in 4 straight seasons.
Wow.
Crazy, right? 91 to 95. He went 39 games of 20 rebounds, 29, 27, 20. I don't think anybody's going to be catching him anytime soon, but good stuff from Capela. He had a nice tip in that was maybe actually Nerlens Noel tipping it in, but those count as well. Ultimately, I got to go Westbrook since he is the smallest guy. Every beef is a blessing, but these, I got to be honest, Skeets, these were not grade A beefs.
Okay. I was just about to ask Lee who he thought was the bigger beef, and I just saw that his device is not connected. Hey, plug your headphones back in, Lee, and we can figure out. Okay, we'll throw that one there just at the stream team as we try and get Lee. back in the mix. This guy's having a rough day when it comes to
That's right.
technology.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Like he's calling in from Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, here, try putting your Turks and Caicos beach hat on. Maybe the connection will get a little stronger. Okay, anyway, perfect timing. Let's be honest. We're going to take a quick break. We will get to some other news from the NBA, some of the other games or things coming up in the association. But first, we got to hear from our sponsors. So, TK, take it away.
Happy birthday, Jack Nicholson. Loved your work in Mars Attacks and anger management, not to mention the bucket list. So I had to get you a little something for your birthday, which is today, April 22nd. I got you Magic Spoon's hottest new flavor birthday cake. Go, Jack. It's your birthday. We're going to eat some cereal like it's your birthday because I got you Magic Spoon for your birthday. With 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, 4 net grams of carbs, and only 140 calories in each serving, Magic Spoon is the perfect cereal for grown-ups. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, and GMO-free, and they're always dropping new flavors like the aforementioned limited edition birthday cake. Right now, you and Jack Nicholson can go to magicspoon.com/nodunks to grab the new limited edition birthday cake or a custom bundle of cereal to try it today. Be sure to use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order. This offer is now good anywhere in the United States or Canada, but only when you use our code NODUNKS at checkout. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. That's as good as it gets. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks. Use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode.
Lee, where'd you go? Grab some Magic Spoon?
No. Just had a little upset child in my room, but he's okay now.
In his room.
Yeah, this is his brother's room. But anyway, so we'll see how this goes.
What's going on? I mean, pull back
he's
the
fine,
curtain.
he's
Like,
fine.
what's happening over there?
He's just a little bit upset here, but
With his brother?
No. Here, come here.
With
Come here.
you?
Say
With the
hello
New
to
York
everybody.
Knicks? What's up?
No. Here he is. Like,
What's up, little O?
You say hello?
Hey, hi. Oh, man. What's going on over there?
No, he can't hear. Okay. You go back to playing with the phone, okay?
All right, look at that. We kept the streak alive. We had Cosmo 2 days ago, Luna yesterday, and Oscar. Okay, what's going on?
Yeah, so you know that feeling when you're away and you're looking forward to sleeping in your own bed again. Well, my Helix Lux mattress arrived the day before I left on my trip, so I was really excited to come home and try it out. It took a couple of days to settle back in, but last night unboxed it and away I went. So I took a quick shower, hopped into bed last night. It was going okay, but at some point, my little man here, who you just saw, he called out for me. And so, you know, I have to sort of go into his room and check he's okay. And he's like, Dad, can you sleep in my room for a bit? So
You're
I
like,
laid
nope,
it. Well, I wanted to, but, you know, I thought, nah, it's okay. So I lay down on the spare mattress. And, you know, it's dark. I don't like turning on the light. And he likes to play with toys on that bed. So, you know, there was a Lego or something under there. And I'm picking that out. I'm lying there. I tossed and turned for a few hours, but I was hoping to sort of sneak back to my Helix, but I fought through. But at some point in the night, you know, my wriggling around must have kind of disturbed him because when I woke up this morning, I looked in his bed and he wasn't there. I walked into my bedroom and he was sound asleep next to his mum in the Helix bed. So at some point, I think he catfished me into getting me out of that bed so he could have a try in that bed. And he just left me to sleep there alone. You know, it's sleep. I say sleep, but again, I was tossing and turning, and I had a sore back and everything. But when I got into my room and I saw him there, I was going to pick him up. But you know, when you see a cat that's like asleep on a couch or a cushion, and you pick it up and its claws kind of come out like that. Yeah. He was basically doing that. He's like, I'm not getting out of this bed.
He's like, I took a 2-minute Helix sleep quiz for this.
Exactly. So I'm like, well, I was hoping to have a really, you know, ringing endorsement for my Helix mattress, but I haven't really got one this morning other than to say My wife and son looked like they had a beautiful sleep on it.
Sure.
So I missed out. But yeah, Helix has a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete. It matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you or someone in your family anyway. With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way you or someone in your family sleeps. Everybody's unique, and Helix knows that. So they have different mattress models to choose from. Soft, medium, and firm mattresses, great for cooling you down if you sleep hot, and even a Helix Plus mattress for plus-size sleepers. I took the quiz, the Helix quiz. I was matched with the Luxe mattress because I wanted something that felt firm, and I sleep on my, I sleep everywhere, back, side, stomach. I do shuffle around all night. So if you're looking for a mattress, take the quiz. Order the mattress that you've matched to, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever need to go to a mattress store again. And Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired magazine. A couple of reputable outlets there. Go to helixsleep.com/nodunks, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. I have to get my wife and son to prove that, but yes.
Right.
They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights. Well, I'm only going to have 99 nights, but risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattresses, all mattress orders, and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/nodunks. That's helixsleep.com/nodunks for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. I think I need a little bit of extra sleep because I can't read very well today.
It's all right, mate. Hold on. Just hold on. We're almost there. Masterclass. Look, it's no secret. We love it here on the show. We talk about it all the time. There are 4 real reasons why we're digging the Masterclass. First off, probably the best part, wide variety of topics taught by the best. So you can learn how to write anything from a book or screenplay to just a letter, and you can learn how to communicate with your boss or your family, or how to make a dinner worthy of a Michelin star, or just how to make really good scrambled eggs. I mean, it's a wide variety of topics. Whatever you're interested in, there's a masterclass for you. The second reason, immersive learning experience. That's how we got to learn nowadays. So you got these like cinema quality classes that give you unparalleled access to the master of that class. Lessons range, again, from specifically showing you how to execute a technique to just a master's insights about their craft that can be really translated across many fields and disciplines. Third reason, flexibility. Oh, love this part. You can explore lessons in any order you'd like across your phone, tablet, Apple TV, and computer. Lessons usually about 10 to 15 minutes in length. So it's like really easy to like just sort of slot one right in there into your busy work day, into your busy everyday life. And then finally, additional sources or resources. Multiple sauces. Additional resources. Okay, so I didn't really even get this part at first, but in addition to the video lessons, Masterclass classes provide you with like downloadable lesson recaps and then supplemental materials. So that's pretty cool. So if you're doing these cooking classes, there's like downloadable guides that will help you out. I mean, it's the equivalent of a cookbook, really. So wide variety of topics taught by the best, that immersive learning experience, flexibility, and additional resources. Guys, we highly recommend you check out Masterclass. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a No Dunks listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/nodunks. That's masterclass.com/nodunks for 15% off Masterclass. Okay, guys, we got some news here. First one sucks. We were talking about this game, great victory from the Knicks there in overtime. But Trae Young exited the game at MSG with a left ankle sprain, and he did not return. Now, x-rays were negative, and Young will get an MRI today. I don't know if you guys are on the Twitter machines and keeping an eye on that update on the MRI. Nothing as of right this second here on Thursday morning. But Ice Trae tweeted after the game, "God had my back with this one. Be back soon. #WeMove." Obviously a huge blow to the Hawks' playoff run. Bless you, TK. He missed 2 games last week with a left calf injury. and now has this ankle. He came down on, who was it? It was it wasn't Nerlens Noel.
No, it was
Pervel.
Norvel Pell.
Yes.
Norvel Pell. I called him
He
Pervel.
fell on Norvel Pell.
Yeah, it's like, it was one of those things where, like, it happens a lot, I feel like, in the NBA. Like the floater, you do the floater, the ball's in the air so long, and like you're watching it, I guess, as a player, or I don't know what it is, but then he just came down on the old ankle. So what happens now with the Hawks? Hopefully it's nothing serious, and he's like out for a season or anything like that. But if he misses a couple weeks, this is going to hurt the Hawks' chances to try and get home court advantage, even try and stay in a 4-5 spot with, of course, like the Celtics right behind the Knicks and the Hawks right now. They'll be turning to Lou Williams, I guess, will get more burn. They picked him up at the deadline. Brandon Goodwin's been a capable backup. So maybe you just run more things through Bogdanović, who does have playmaking abilities, and we know he can score at a high level. So there's that possibility as well. But like Trae Young, like the Hawks just cannot stay healthy. Like they cannot have an entire squad there. DeAndre Hunter, Gallinari, and Cam Reddish are 3 rotation players. They're all out still. Chris Dunn hasn't played a game all season long, thanks to injuries of his own. So this would suck if Trae Young is out for any significant amount of time lately, because the Hawks had turned it around here under Nate McMillan.
Absolutely, they had. And we were just talking about that sort of 7th through 10th seed. Well, they're only a game up of the Miami Heat as well. So, yes, if Trae Young is out for 3 or 4 games, the Hawks could all of a sudden go from looking like they're probably going to finish in the top 6 to maybe having to drop back into that play-in tournament, which is where they don't want to be. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I think Bogdanović is probably more likely to take more of that responsibility because he's done that for his country. But I think they prefer to have him off the ball just catching and shooting because that's where he's so good. But Goodwin, yeah, he actually hit a couple of threes too last night. So it's just a blow here for the Hawks because from what the season started off okay, then sort of fell apart, and then they seem to be back on track. So hopefully he can shake this off and be back because without him, really hard to see the Hawks doing any damage. I mean, I think, again, they're one of those teams, if they can just get to the playoffs and win a first-round series, which is possible if they would draw the Celtics or the Hornets or someone like that, that's great for them. But I don't put them in that top echelon anyway of the Eastern Conference. But any progress for the Hawks, considering where they've been the last 5-6 years, would be very impressive.
Yeah, Atlanta, 6.9 points per 100 possessions, better with Young on the floor than without. That's not very shocking at all. They're better when he's out there. Trae, anything to add about this other Trae?
It looked bad. You could hear him screaming on the broadcast because it happened obviously right underneath the hoop where they're mic'd up. So if he's able to return this season, if he's even able to come back during the regular season, I mean, that's huge for the Hawks because it looked like it was going to be a long absence, no doubt, for Trae Young. But like you guys are saying, Bogdanović has turned it on a little bit here. Lou Williams has been pretty solid for the Hawks. They just need to kind of stem the tide and hope that something similar doesn't happen come playoff time because it's going to be tough for the Hawks regardless. They're going to be happy to make it into the playoffs, but they got to make it in very first right here because the Knicks are a half game up on the Hawks from 4 to 5, and then the Hawks are a half game up on the 6th seed Celtics. So those are a couple of teams. Well, at least the Celtics have playoff experience. We'll see what happens with the Hawks. Terrible timing, though, coming up with a playoff push right here, but seems to have avoided the worst, which is good news. Yeah.
From bad news to good news here. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, Lakers star Anthony Davis will return from a 9-week absence. It's been 9 weeks. Tonight, in theory, he's going to be back, provided his leg holds up in practice. It's the final hurdle he's got to get over. Davis said he now feels 100% healthy from the calf strain and tendinosis in his right leg is what he had, I guess. But Coach Vogel says AD's playing time will be limited to the 15-minute range for the first 2 games he plays. So, Trae, what do you think about AD possibly returning night? And do you think like this time off, like how does it affect him coming up here to the playoffs? Does it hurt him because he's rusty, or does it actually maybe possibly help a guy like AD that he be rested? What do you think?
As long as he's actually healthy for the start of the playoffs, I have zero concerns for Anthony Davis and the Lakers. No doubt AD is going to be rusty. I can't believe it's been 9 weeks that he's missed. That's crazy. That's a long, long time. He's not going to be his best self. Obviously, you're saying he's going to be on a little bit of a minutes limit here. LeBron is hurt as well, so he's not going to get the tasty dishes that he would be come playoff time. But this is Anthony Davis, guys. A walking mismatch. The new George Mikan. The guy stumbles into 20 and 10s just by hanging around the rim. And I think that LeBron and Anthony Davis could not see each other for 6 years and then run a perfect pick and roll. You'd like them both to be healthy and together all season. That has not been the case. But as long as they are actually healthy, these are two of the top 10 players in the league. Roll the balls out there and they'll be good again.
Yeah, the one thing from this McMenamin article, Lily, that sort of jumped out to me is AD said LeBron is still, quote, probably a couple of weeks or so away from returning from his injury. We got the playoffs starting in a little bit
Very
more than
soon.
a couple of weeks. But like, if there's no LeBron still for, let's say, 2 or 3, he's not going to have a lot of time to ramp up here for the playoffs. And where the Lakers are right now, it's not like you can even use like a first round series as like sort of a warm up, which we've seen LeBron do, of course, before, especially in the East, when in a 1-8 or a 2-7 matchup when you're playing some of the lower tiered Eastern Conference teams. So I don't know, that's obviously not good. But AD getting back, hopefully tonight would be it'd be fun to see for Lakers fans. So,
it'd be huge, and I think these next couple of weeks is just him finding his wind back, getting back into rhythm, and then come playoff time, he could just have his legs under him and be ready to go again, which is a daunting prospect for everybody else in the Western Conference, because if he's completely overcome this injury, which it sounds like he has, then he just gets himself ready to go again, and he could be finding himself right in that good form just as the playoffs start. So I think it's great to see him back. But yeah, 9 weeks, wow, that's a long time. He was out for I think it was just originally an Achilles strain, wasn't it? They said, he's still here. Okay. I didn't. Okay. Yes. There he is. Okay.
what's going on today?
I don't know. I thought he left, but he's back here.
Okay, I guess maybe he didn't sleep that well on that helix after all. Sorry.
Too much energy. He slept
Yeah.
great.
So I will say the Lakers did a decent job, like sort of without their stars. I mean, I don't have it in front of me, but it feels like they played basically like 500 ball. Now, did they drop down a little bit in the standings? Yeah, but you did got a lot more. Hey, turn your mic off, Lee.
This mic picks up everything.
He's talking right beside you. How's that shocking? I'm not upset with him. I'm upset with you. Just click mute your mic, man. Oh, my goodness. Anyway, AD hopefully back tonight versus the Mavericks. Is that got to be the second game, right, on TNT? That feels like a big one, so that'd be a fun reason to tune in for that one. All right. Let's get to tweet of the night. Just roll it, JD. We've got to get out of here. He's got to go parent.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
Simple tweet for tweet of the night. Saw it last night. Knew I had to ask it, especially with Lee Ellis on the podcast. Comes to us from Locker Room app. You get one shot. Shout out to Eminem. Would you rather attempt a layup for $1 million or a 3-pointer for $1 billion?
Wow.
I will say it doesn't say you have to make either of them, but I'm assuming that's the case. I mean, sure, I'll take a 3 for $1 billion. Lock it in. But Lee, what are you doing here? $1 million.
Listen,
make
I
the
think
layup questionable in the first place.
Yeah, I don't like
three-pointer.
Lee's chances of hitting a layup. I've seen this guy miss too many layups. You're more money from 3, man. Take the 3.
Well, I think about it like this: like $1 million is obviously a lot of money, but it's not like that life-changing. Like all of a sudden you're buying a yacht and a mansion and your private plane. $1 billion, though, you are buying all that stuff because you got it. You want the glory, man. I'm stepping back. Of course I'm taking a 3,
Yeah, you are.
man.
Yeah,
You don't want
Where you
anyone saying, you don't want someone saying, oh, yeah, $1 million are a lot boring. It's like, no, man, there's $1 billion on the line. Hit that 3 ball. I'm going to that left corner. I'm knocking down that 3.
Oh, so you think in this hypothetical, you get to pick where you want to shoot the 3 from?
3's a
Sure,
3,
why
if
not?
you ask me. Yeah.
Okay.
So go to your
Three's a
hotspot.
3.
And, yeah.
So you're
I
going
mean,
corner.
I'm going corner 3, yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Why not?
Does your decision change at all if you get no warm up?
No.
Wow. Confidence, baby.
No,
Confidence.
it's just like you want to put it on the line, don't you? Someone say, "Man, you just cost yourself $1 million." You say, "Yeah, but it was worth it, wasn't it?" For 999 other million that was at stake if I knocked in the 3.
I mean, it would suck if you missed the layup because
Well, that's
that
it.
would be the
exactly.
worst.
you're mad nervous or
Yeah.
something and it just rims in and out, and then you're like, ugh.
And imagine how baller it would be if you just swish bomb it too from the corner. Leave it hanging as you're walking off there. Like little finger sign like that. Write that check. As it goes, as the ball's in the air. Like,
wow. This guy's visualizing it. That's good. That's what you want to do, Lee.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you're buying? You splash that 3 from the corner. $1 billion is yours. First thing Lee Ellis buys. What? A
Yacht.
nanny?
No, a yacht. I'm going to the south of France.
A yacht?
I'm getting one of those big over the top yachts. And I'm going to jump off it into the water.
Like helicopter one? Like that you can land on?
I could probably. Yeah, I could afford a helicopter, so yeah, I'll get one with a helipad. Yeah, completely obnoxious, over the top. Gold chain, shirt undone, sunnies on. I'm jumping in the water. Yeah,
Sounds like you're going to the U.S. Open.
What do you call in your yacht? You got a name for it?
Swish bomb.
Ooh, that's good.
That's good.
I like it.
He's like, oh, you're getting a yacht, dude?
Where are we going? All right. What are you doing, Trae, for that hypothetical? Are you doing the layup for $1 million or the 3-pointer for $1 billion?
Well, somebody in the stream team said that the math you've got to do is, are you 1,000 times more likely to make the layup than to make the 3-pointer? I would say I'm 1,000 times more likely to make the layup, but I'm shooting the 3 just like Lee.
Wow.
100%. If you got a chance at $1 billion, I'll even take one from the top of the key. I'll
Wow.
make 1 out of 1,000. I think that's a fair percentage right there. And if it's the one that goes in, I'm also naming my yacht Swish Bomb.
Oh, wow. I'm going to disagree with you guys. I'm taking the $1 million, the easy $1 million. I'll take a layup. I'll do a 360 layup. Make it interesting.
Fart layup?
Well, that'd be baller. 360 jump fart layup?
Yeah,
That would be cool.
I'll double it, and I'll give you one of my $1 million from the $1 billion I win if you do a jump fart. So you
Oh.
actually win $2 million.
Wow. Okay, then that's easy. No, I'm taking the easy $1 million. Man, though, you guys, I love the confidence, man. Stepping out behind that line, splashing it, buying yourself identical yachts.
The swish and the bomb, and we'll always ride next to each other.
Yeah.
How much you get for a rebound? How much do you get to be the guy that rebounds the misses for people taking the $1 billion 3-pointer? I'll sign up for that. $5,000 a board.
That's a lot of beef.
That's right.
Let's hear from all of you out there. A great tweet of the night there. A fun hypothetical. You taking the layup for $1 million or the 3-pointer for $1 billion? Let us know your reasons why, and just also let us know what you would name your boat, your yacht, if you got one. Okay, pick 'em results from last night. I will not be winning a yacht anytime soon here with the money I'm making off of bets. I'm 5-10 now here in the month. I still owe you guys a pick 'em loss from last month. Brutal run for me. I swerved. I took the Hawks. Looked good for a second. Maybe if Trae Young doesn't go down, maybe I win this and I cover. But the Knicks in overtime got the victory. I was praying Randle, by the way, hit that jumper at the end of regulation. I was like, yeah, hit it. I don't care if the Hawks win. I just want to cover. Of course, that's the one he misses. And then it went to overtime and they put the hammer down. So anyway, victory for you guys. Taking the Knicks. Tass and Lee are 9-6. Trae is 8-7. I'm 5-10. I mean, I'm way back here. Tonight's game is Sixers-Bucks. That is the NBA happy hour game. Milwaukee favored by 5.5 at home against the Sixers. Who knows who the hell's playing in this game? I didn't look it up. I assume because of this line, there's a lot of guys on the Sixers that won't be playing. But Trae, get us started. Who do you like tonight? You like Milwaukee to win by 6 or more?
Yep, I do. Give me the Bucks. Like you, I don't really know who's going to be playing, but the Sixers have been missing a lot of guys, and they played last night. So give me the Bucks.
Okay, fear the deer. Lee, where are you going?
Yeah, same. I mean, it's a TNT game, so maybe Embiid does play. I don't know what Simmons is doing either. Tobias Harris, I think, is probably out, but Giannis might be out as well for the Bucks. So I'll just take Milwaukee home team, 6 points. Sure.
All right, let's find out who Tass has.
I'll take the Bucks. These standings in the Eastern Conference are going to get interesting these last 4 weeks. Give me Milwaukee.
I mean, what do I do here? I'm so far behind. Do I just double, triple down on swerving here at this point? Yeah, sure. Give me Philly. Not happy.
Super swerve.
Yeah, this is a super swerve. Sixers to cover. I'm the only one taking Philly to cover. Everybody else has the Bucks to win by 6 or more. All right. Does Oscar have anything left he'd like to say here about the NBA?
Come here, please.
Come on over.
Come here.
You got any?
Let's see.
There he is.
Who is Milwaukee? What are their team?
Milwaukee Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. And what about Philadelphia?
Philadelphia Hornets.
No, not the Hornets. They're the number. Philadelphia
Sixers.
Sixers. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's the Sixers and the Bucks tonight. Who's going to win?
Bucks.
Bucks.
Nice.
Just like that. Ask him if he would take a layup or a 3-pointer for a bunch of money.
Would you take a layup or a 3-pointer if you had to?
3-pointer.
Yeah. That's the way. That's
Baller.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And last one for the boys. Who's your favorite team in the NBA?
Hawks.
The Hawks. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Hometown boy. Yeah.
Wow, hometown boy.
Well,
Yeah.
you were born in Atlanta, so you're supporting the Hawks. That's great. Larry Luke would be happy to hear that, wouldn't he?
Respect, man. Final question. How is that Helix?
How did you sleep last night? Did you have a good sleep last night? Yeah.
That's a nice one. There you go, Helix. Pay us a little extra more money for that one, eh?
Yeah, a couple of pillows wouldn't hurt. Helix.
Yeah, make it 4 pillows. All right. Little great to see you. Guys, thanks for joining us here, especially all you live people there on the stream team. Thank you so much. Like, comment, and subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube. Email us your NBA questions and comments for our next Beach Steppin' podcast. Go listen to yesterday's as well. As a lot of fun. Grab your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com and subscribe to The Athletic. Go to theathletic.com/nodunks. Tonight, NBA Happy Hour. Join us at halftime of that Sixers-Bucks game. We'll fire up the YouTube live stream. And who knows, maybe Sebastian will join us on NBA Happy Hour tonight. And there will be an Ellis kid swinging by. So we'll see you then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And I think we just got a look at Lee's retirement plan. Training his sons to make billion-dollar 3-pointers. Thinking ahead. I love it, Lee.
Ask Oscar there for a final quote.
Here, can you tell us what's your favorite book to read? What's your favorite book to read?
My favorite book to read is The Lion King.
The Lion King. Great book. Great choice.
Embrace the day, people.
You could